Good evening, I'm meteorologist Doug Heady. For the next 30 minutes, our focus is on severe weather. We're keeping you ahead of the storm. We'll tell you how technology upgrades are helping meteorologists better predict severe weather. Meteorologist Nick Kelly heads to the National Weather Service in Springfield. Plus, my spring forecast. I'll break down what to expect for the months ahead. And we're keeping you informed on air and on the internet. How our weather apps, social media pages, and my month-long blog keeps you informed on the go. But first, we begin with the differences between watches and warnings. Of course, we always get severe thunderstorm watches and tornado watches, tornado warnings, and severe thunderstorm warnings. So what is the difference? Of course, with a severe thunderstorm watch, we are watching for severe thunderstorms. We are watching for tornadoes across the region. Conditions are favorable to see these. When we have a warning, that means these are confirmed. We have a severe thunderstorm warning. We're warning you we have this. We are warning you we do have a tornado across the region. That's when you need to take action. Of course, during severe weather, here in the Weather Center, gets kind of crazy, gets very active. We get the warnings in here. How do I get them out to you? Of course, I'm going to let you know how that occurs coming up right now. We've already talked about the differences between watches and warnings, but it's during severe weather events that it gets pretty active here in the Weather Center. So of course, during a severe weather event, when we're dealing with severe thunderstorm warnings or even tornado warnings, we are getting ready for those warnings. Before they even come out, I'm trying to stay on top of the severe storms that are developing. Now, when I see a dangerous storm, one of the very first things I'm doing is I'm paying attention to our NWS chat, or National Weather Service chat. These are meteorologists across the country in our local offices that we are looking at these dangerous storms. What we do is we talk back and forth to each other and we say, what do you think about this storm? What do you think about that storm? And I know before a warning even comes out if a warning is going to be issued. So we have an idea of what storms are going to have a tornado warning or are going to have severe thunderstorm warnings. And of course, in our area, we're actually split up in between 3 National Weather Service offices. Northeast Oklahoma is connected to Tulsa. Southeast Kansas is connected to Wichita. Southwest Missouri is connected to Springfield. So I talk back and forth with all of these offices. Then it gets really active. When we get the actual warnings, it gets distributed through all of these computers. Of course, over here, we have the wonderful LiveWire. This is the computer that everybody loves. This is the computer that has that wonderful bug that runs at the bottom of your TV screen. Of course, we try not to cover up your March Madness basketball games. And then over here, these are my weather graphics computers. When we have warnings, they automatically plot right here on my computer screen. Of course, we don't have severe weather right now, but we do have a winter weather advisory, which is in effect when I'm talking here. And of course, what I can do is I can click right on the warning and it tells me exactly what is going on. So I can always zoom in. I can see exactly where the warning is, where it's going, what time it is in effect. So as soon as the National Weather Service puts it out, it plots right on my computer screen and it shoots out right to you guys at home. Even if I'm on TV, it plots up right on my computer screen and I can let you know exactly at home what is going on. Then here's the interesting part. We have this new social media tool. If you are not on my Twitter, if you're not on my Facebook, you want to make sure you are. Because if we have a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, let's say, in the Joplin Metro, if there's a tornado warning and it's heading east, northeast, as soon as it is issued, it's going to take a picture of that and it's going to shoot that warning right here on my meteorologist Doug Heady Facebook page, and it's going to let you know where it's going and when it's going to be there. For instance, I just updated a picture about snowfall that we have been seeing. So it's immediately going to shoot out and let you know these warnings. So we're going to let you know where these warnings are with severe weather on TV, through apps, through social media. All right, coming up next, every household should have a weather kit on hand. Dave Pylan, he's going to tell us the necessities you should have ready to go. Plus, a change in storm siren policy in Southwest Missouri. We break down what to expect when the storm sirens sound in your community. People in Southwest Missouri will soon notice a change to the way severe weather warnings are issued. The National Weather Service has announced Joplin, Springfield, Branson, and several other Southwest Missouri cities now have the same severe weather plan. In addition to tornado warnings, sirens will be sounded if the National Weather Service issues a severe thunderstorm warning with winds greater than 75 miles per hour. The sirens will sound for 3 minutes at a time, then a break for 3 minutes, then 3 minutes again until the warning is lifted. For a full list of areas affected, we've provided a link on our website, KOAM-TV.com. When a storm is approaching or already in the area, you don't want to be scrambling for your radio or flashlight. It's better to be prepared when a storm strikes. Our own Dave Pylan, of course, he has tips on things you should have in your weather kit.
A wise man once said, it's better to have it and not need it than not have it and need it. And so that's why every household should have an emergency kit on hand. All this stuff located in one place. I keep mine in a big clear plastic tub. Let's go over the basics. A 3-day supply of food and water. On the water, that's 1 gallon per person per day. So if you have a large family, that's a lot of water that will add up. A 3-day supply of non-perishable food, which is a bit misleading because even canned goods will go bad. Here's a can right here that looks like it's about to explode, so you'll want to go through and replace this stuff about once a year. You'll likely have your cell phone with you, but it's also a good idea to keep a copy of important information, names, addresses, maybe a copy of your driver's license, any medication that you're on. Of course, flashlight, extra battery, some toiletries, a weather alert radio. This has a battery backup, and here's a radio that works just by cranking the handle. And obviously you'll want to have a first aid kit on hand as well. A few other miscellaneous items, maybe some extra clothing here. I also keep some heavy duty tape that's ready to go, as well as a little bit of extra plastic sheeting, and of course you'll probably need a tarp in case you've got some weather damage to cover up. And also, just in case, not a bad idea to have a small fire extinguisher on hand. But all of this stuff will fit into a box and you keep it in one place. Again, you'll want to go through and replace the food items about once a year, so you'll keep those things fresh. And one final thing, if you have pets, you might want to make an emergency kit for them as well.
Thanks, Dave. My spring predictions coming up next. Well, of course, we're looking ahead over the next few months, and what are we going to get thunderstorm-wise and really weather-wise for the spring months? We really have two main features. Of course, this is set on my pattern, and we have seen over the past few months, we really saw two tails through the winter months. We had big cold blasts of Arctic air, prolonged blasts, and then it really warmed up. We've been sitting in this nice stage of pretty nice weather over about the past couple weeks, and the jet stream, this arrow right here, this red arrow, gives us this nice warm weather, and all the cold air sits well to our north. But within this period, which lasts about 3 weeks, we do get a few storm systems that drop down through the area, and we could see a few bouts of severe weather. So if we break this down, this warmer stretch, this is going to occur really for the rest of March until about April 2nd. And then again, it's going to start up from April 22nd through about May 20th. We could see a few rounds of severe weather, but this part of the pattern definitely does not scream severe weather. It's the other part of the pattern that we have to keep our eyes on. The jet stream dips far back toward the southwest. We see numerous storm systems kick out. the cold air dives south, so we'll have this contrast of cold air and warm air. This is when we're going to see the big temperature swings right across the region. And this is the part of the pattern that we had back in November when we had that huge cold snap. Back in late December and through the first half of January, and then again through most of February when we saw all of our snow and our ice. It's this part of the pattern that we have to keep our eyes on once again. So this active stretch is going to be from February 3rd through February 21st, and then again May 21st into June. This may actually help us out a bit because usually most of our severe weather is the first 3 weeks of May, and we're not going to see this active stretch during that first 3 weeks of May. That's good news. We'll see big cold snaps in April. So we are going to actually see some pretty hard freezes in April, even though March has been fairly nice. That cold part of the pattern is going to return. This is also our best chances for severe weather outbreaks. So April could be very active, even though we're going to have those cold snaps across the region. And then also very late May, so from May 21st through the last week, through Memorial Day, and really through the first half of June could be very active across the region. But still, I don't think it's going to be above normal by any means across the region. If we really break this down, I think we're going to have average temperatures. Even though April's going to be fairly cool, I think in general we're going to be okay. We're going to average out slightly below average rain. I don't think we're going to have a ton of rain. I think just below average rain, we could be hurting by the time summer rolls around. 7 to 10 severe weather events, but average is 10 to 15 severe weather events, so just below our average on severe weather events. Now that doesn't mean we couldn't have one big or two big severe weather events. I just think in general we're going to have a few less severe weather events than what we normally do have across the region. All right, ahead of the storm continues here in just a moment. Meteorologist Nick Kelly, he takes us to the National Weather Service in Springfield. A look at how technology upgrades are helping forecasters better detect tornadoes and other forms of severe weather.
When it comes to protection of life and property, being able to confirm a tornado like that in real time, it's a great benefit.
Welcome back. For this severe weather season, both the Skywatch Weather Team and the National Weather Service have new technology to better detect severe weather, especially tornadoes. Meteorologist Nick Kelly shows us how software updates are helping us keep you ahead of the storm.
It's easy to spot this structure on the northwest side of Springfield. It's controlled by the Springfield National Weather Service Office and is key to scanning the skies of southwest Missouri and extreme southeast Kansas. This golf ball-like dome houses a WSR-88D, a radar installed during the 90s here in Springfield, but recently many upgrades have been proven beneficial to the Weather Service.
And the great thing about it is it allows us to view data in various forms.
2 years ago, all National Weather Service radars across the country received dual polarization upgrades. This technology allows meteorologists to better detect rain, snow, and hail, but it also provides big benefits during severe weather.
If we see a circulation on radar with that debris being lofted, we know a tornado is either ongoing or has recently occurred.
Jason Schauman is a forecast meteorologist with the National Weather Service's Springfield office.
We didn't expect such great technology when it came to detecting these tornado debris signatures.
Schauman says this upgrade provides real-time data and acts as a virtual storm spotter.
When it comes to protection of life and property, being able to confirm a tornado like that in real time, it's a great benefit.
You'll notice on this warning,
the Skywatch Weather Team can now take advantage of the dual polar radar's capability to detect tornado debris. We can look for ourselves and show you at home if a tornado is on the ground and causing damage. The latest software updates like AVSET and SAILS help give back time to meteorologists. With AVSET, the radar spins around at a half-degree tilt. It continually tilts up and scans higher in the atmosphere until it no longer detects precipitation. That's when it returns to its lowest level.
What that enables us to do then is see those lower cuts of the atmosphere more frequently. So you talk about tornadoes forming or circulations forming, we're going to see those a lot quicker than with the previous technology.
The SAILS update works in a similar fashion. Instead of continually tilting up, Once the radar gets halfway, it returns to its lowest level for a quick scan before jumping back to scan higher altitudes.
We are getting twice the amount of lower level volume scans of this radar to where we're going to see those quick spin ups that develop in between radar volume scans.
Schaumann says this upgrade allows the National Weather Service to better detect spin-ups versus the old radar technology, but it still leaves a bit of uncertainty for him and his colleagues.
While this technology is greatly improved, it's still not telling us everything we need to know when it comes to what a severe thunderstorm is or is not producing.
Which is why Schaumann says the National Weather Service still needs storm spotters and ground truth reports.
Thanks, Nick. These upgrades apply to all National Weather Service radars across the country. They'll be helpful to meteorologists in terms of issuing severe thunderstorms and tornado warnings. Many of you in the Joplin area have multiple options when it comes to tuning weather radios. In September of last year, a new 300-watt NOAA weather radio transmitter went fully functional. It's located on top of Joplin City Hall. There are 2 radio transmitters in Avila and Neosho. But Joplin emergency management officials say the new Joplin transmitter can provide better reception to people in the Joplin area. Officials say people within 40 miles of the transmitter can clearly hear the radio. Joplin's new transmitter is operating on channel number 7. Keeping you informed on the go next. With many of us having busy lives, we can't always be around the TV when severe weather is possible. But you can always stay up to date on the go by following Nick and I online. We're easy to find on Facebook and Twitter. Just search meteorologist Doug Heady and meteorologist Nick Kelly on Facebook. On Twitter, follow @Doug Heady and @Nick Kelly Weather. Of course, I post updates each day, many updates when we're expecting severe weather. Whenever I update the blog, a link will automatically be posted on both pages on both sites, so you'll have the latest forecast. Whenever watches and warnings are issued, our system now automatically posts a map showing who's under a watch and a warning. Of course, we have viewer questions. Sarah, she asks, what is the very best thing to do if you don't have a shelter and you don't have a basement? Good question. I'm always here when we have severe weather. If I was at home, I don't have a basement, I would hit my bathroom. You want to hit a bathroom that doesn't have really a window. If you do have a window in your bathroom, go ahead and take it. But I would jump in the bathtub. I would take a mattress if you can get it, or at least some pillows. Get in that bathtub, cover yourself up. Alan asks, does a tornado watch guarantee a severe thunderstorm watch as well? When you have a tornado watch, you might as well consider it a severe thunderstorm watch because you're going to get those severe thunderstorms. And especially if you have a tornado warning, it's also a severe thunderstorm warning. Pam asks, does it look like we have to worry about a lot of strong storms this spring? Well, as we talked in the spring forecast, yeah, it looks like we're going to have average, maybe just below as we head through the spring months. Not an extremely exciting spring, but yeah, we're going to have about average, maybe just below. Justin, here's an interesting question. Why do towns wait so long now to sound tornado sirens? It's like they wait until it's confirmed on the ground, which is very close by then. It doesn't give people time to get to safety. You got to remember, each community, they have their own policies on when they sound the sirens. So some communities, they may wait until it's a confirmed tornado, or some communities, they sound it as soon as there's a funnel cloud or at least rotation on radar. You always have to learn what your community does, but you also have to remember that sirens aren't meant to be aren't meant to be heard inside. They are meant to be heard if you're outside. So you want to rely on other things like TV, apps, Facebook, Twitter, other ways to get information as well. Of course, KOAM offers another great service to get warnings if you are on the go or if you can't get us on the air. It's called Weather Call, a service that will notify you of incoming weather. You have 2 options, Weather Call at home, allows you to register 3 phone numbers for a specific address you want to track. If that address falls under a warning, you'll get a phone call from me. If it doesn't, you won't get a call. For an Android or iPhone users, there's Weather Call to Go. Instead of a fixed address, this service uses a GPS chip in your phone, and your location gets updated each minute. No matter where you are in the 4 states, if your location falls under the warning or within 1 mile of the warning polygon, you're going to be notified. If your location is not in the polygon, you will not be notified. You can find out more information about Weather Call, and of course, there's a link on KOAM-TV.com/weathercall. We also have our Skywatch weather app for your Apple and Android device. It includes interactive radar, 10-day forecast, hourly forecast, weather alerts, video, latest newscasts, and links to our latest weather blog. Just search KOAM-WX in the Apple App Store or Google Play stores. Thanks for joining us. You can always find us on air and online at KOAM-TV.com. And remember, in the event of severe weather or any other time of the year, the Skywatch weather team is the team you can trust.